wanted out of a friend.
I think that's how we became best friends.
Found out Walter was coming to GT. He threw it all away. There's no way I could forgive myself if I let that happen. I don't think Jordan understands really who I am.
Shaun Ryan.
Yes.
Most sought after videographer. Words. Video person in the European wrestling scene. What's the crack, man? How are you?
I'm going great. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Good. Nice pint of Guinness there, which as well looks tasty.
It's lovely.
You fit in well around these parts. We said we'd get you on for the crack. There's a lot of kind of getting a lot of attention on your work lately. How's that all going for you?
It's fucking crazy. It's insane. Like I was when we released that the Star Devlin video the other night, I was in on a job in I was filming for Concern, and it was like I finished at probably around 9:15, like 9:30, I think, and I was like just checking my phone, and then it was like my phone just started fucking like hopping, and like I've never had like that many sort of like notifications before on my phone where it was like really I think I turned on the thing and it was like over 300 notifications on the thing, and like every time I was like refreshing it, then I kept on getting like more it was like really it was a bit much. Because then you got to like, because if anyone says anything to you, got to like what they've said about you then, but then like it was like, oh my god, there's too many things to actually go through.
Everyone's liking me too much.
But like, you know, that thing of like, it's like, yeah, it was really I'm not used to it at all, like, you know, so it was it was shocking.
Was it a bit like if you woke up hungover some morning and then you see a load of messages on your phone and what have I done? What has gone wrong?
Exactly.
What did I say to Dave Meltzer?
Yeah, it's mad. It's insane.
Like, how did it all start? Like, how did you get into this kind of line of work? Or
I suppose like film work I've been doing for like years and years, and wrestling even. Like before that, then like say when I was growing up, like all I wanted to do was like be like a wrestler. So I think I was like 15 when they opened like NWA Ireland, and I went and trained for like a year there, and I just started having like really bad issues with my knees that they kept on dislocating on me. So I had to stop wrestling, but I had like a camera to film like matches and stuff. So I still just kept on doing like filming and editing, and like would have done like backyard wrestling and stuff still afterwards, and would have learned how to edit by like making like packages of like our backyard wrestling and that sort of stuff. Like, and really like got into editing then at that stage, and then I went to like college and hated college. I stopped for a few years, and then I think like DSLRs and all that sort of came out and became really sort of like accessible and feasible to make like cinematic content for relatively cheap. So I made like a film then, and like a no budget like feature film, and then from there I got like a music video work, and like I made like a music video that went like viral. So then from there on I was sort of grand, just working doing music videos a lot, really. But yeah, all sorts. Like it's sort of like editing is what I probably enjoy most, but like, you know,
it shows. Yeah, you were saying like you had like the Blizzards and Ham Sandwich and loads of people.
Yeah.
Videos for
A company with a friend of mine, is the Crooked Gentleman thing, and me and Jeff Doyle own that together. But it's like mainly music videos that we can make together. But like, really at that, like it's everything and anything that we can do, you know, like media wise.
And how different is it then? You know, are you comprising the direction of the entire video then? Is that all down to yourself, or like do the bands have to come in on that? Or
well, like say usually you get sent like a song, and then you listen to it and you're like, okay, what the fuck can we do with this? You sort of like, it goes like, because you'd always have like sort of varying like budgets and stuff as well. So like you might have like you could have nothing, or you could have like enough to do something with it. But like when you're listening to a song, you've got to keep that in mind that like, okay, I can't just do anything with this. I have to figure out how I'm going to make it feasible within the budget that they have to make what I want to make. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I've closed Grafton Street for you.
Like you really have to like you're inside a box, but I think in that sort of way, like you can be more creative with like what you can do. Then like you have to sort of use what's available to you to the best of your ability, you know.
And how would you compare doing the music videos to like the wrestling shows? Like apart from lads diving out of the ring and having to avoid them.
I think like say how much I enjoy doing the wrestling shows is like I enjoy doing that more than anything else, to be honest. Like because like running the company with Jeff, like you don't really get like a chance to do many like passion projects or anything like that. So you could be like working around the clock. Like a lot of times, like I've worked like I think I've done like the longest shift I've done was probably around 26 hours.
Ooh,
Which, like, say, like just like if you're going through like for like fucking deadlines and stuff like that, like you have to like kill yourself at times to sort of just make them. So you don't like a lot of the time like then the idea of like, oh, I've got some spare time, I'll go make that thing that I really want to make. It sort of disappears in the face of like I'm fucking bollocks now. With the camera, I don't want to do any editing at all. I don't want to do anything like that. But I think we had just gotten new gear, and I got in touch with Joe, and Scrapper Mania 4 was coming up, and I was like, I'd fucking love to come and shoot at it if you'd have me type thing. So like I went and did it, and like for me, like when I was shooting that and when I was editing that like highlight package of like that show, like I think like it really felt like to me when I started making like films in that way that you're right, I just loved it so much. Like it sort of reminded me why I started doing it and why I enjoyed doing it when I first began doing it.
Has reignited the interest.
Yeah, exactly. So like when I'm getting to do all these things, like I'm like it was insane. Like because especially with even just like a background and wanting to do wrestling and stuff like that, you can sort of like live vicariously through them when they're doing those sort of things, just trying to get nice shots of it and stuff, you know, and just like yeah, when I was running around that fucking show, like running around like,
You're all over the place. It was just a Shaun randomly running train.
Like heart was like thumping, and I was like so fucking happy doing it. Like, and it was like, and that's like been the same like as I've gotten to do them, you know, and like I'm getting to do any of this sort of stuff. I'm like so happy to be doing it, and it really feels like full circle to me. That like gives me great purpose and a narrative to my life. Like if I was to be able to make like wrestling films for the rest of my life, I feel like it would sort of connect everything that my sort of life like journey or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So if WWE or AEW offered you a job,
right? Like I don't know. I think like if I got like that contract in front of me, I'd just like blow my brains out. Because like you really just peaked at that point, you know. Like it would all definitely be downhill after that.
They'd probably stick in NXT to show you how to use the camera.
Where's the hard cam?
Right.
Like when you were talking to Joe or an OTT, like what was the brief in terms of like the quality and what their idea was? Because the final product is cinematic, like it's world class.
I think of like for which one the
Just any, like with the hype packages like Devon Star, like is this something they wanted like a shareable kind of social media thing, or did they want the big?
Like with the Devon Star one, then like Redemption had happened, and I was shooting at Redemption, and usually for those big shows I'd make like a highlight package of the night, but I didn't know the fucking angle was happening. I fucking lost my mind, like, cause I had like 2 cameras for that show, and on the second camera you see my reaction, and like I fucking take like a double take, and I'm like and then like I was like running trying to get like say over over Star's shoulder and over Devon, so I'd have like the perspective of both of them looking at each other. So instantly I was like, I need to get that shit for the package that we're going to do for this. It's going to be great. And then like from that, like I didn't bother making like a package for the show because I was just like so excited about making like a hype package for the actual match.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and made like I pretty much had like a full hype package that's not been used now. See, I had like well, usually I put like a music bed down to whatever I do, and then from there, sort of have like the bits that we have footage for already, and then might put in like text in the black sort of gaps between stuff of what I'd like to put inside there. You know, for like I always had like the rain thing even in that like initial package that wasn't made, and like I kept on thinking that like there's like a Blade Runner line, the like lost like tears and rain type thing, you know, and then even like the
It was like the promotion of, was it the Dark Knight Rises even? You know, you'd Bane and Batman. It was a similar kind of the rain and the black aesthetic.
the whole thing of like that song, the song that came out at Haven for Monsters was "We Belong," and the line in that is like, "We belong to the night, we belong to the thunder." So I thought like that idea of like using all this lightning and sort of shit like that it sort of fits into like a greater context of like the feud as well. So
I love that song, and I never thought of that link. That is fantastic.
It's like even like when they start, I thought like the idea of like say Walter being like a storm that sort of like consumes them. So like when in that package, when the first time it goes to that thing, you know, where he talks about like obsession, like, and the thing glitches in the background. When it glitches, like there's a storm sort of coming in, and then when he starts talking about redemption, that section where Jordan starts talking about it, and the last bit of like blue sky is just sort of taken away by the storm, then sort of like then you're fucking into it or whatever. So that's sort of the idea with that stuff, you know.
That's fantastic. That's brilliant. It's the small little details that you're like makes them, I think, though. I mean, the same with the likes of the one, any of the Walter videos. The whole thing around he's this dominant, he's this ruler, all the imagery, almost like the propaganda style stuff.
Yeah.
How easy is it, kind of when it comes to someone like Walter? How easy does having someone like that? I mean, you don't have to portray how big of a monster this guy is. How much easier does that make it for you to get across kind of how big of a challenge it is, or can it capture the emotion of it, if you get what I mean?
I was like delighted. I was like fucking like, okay, this is Rocky IV, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
Yes, that was my thing. Even Drago.
yeah, exactly. But that's what I was thinking when I was going into it. I was like, you know, fucking, this is great. You have like this sort of character that's gonna kill Apollo Creed now type thing.
How much do they let you know? You know, in terms of, obviously don't be giving away booking ideas or anything if you know anything, but like how much are you briefed on it? Is it kind of, this is where we are, this is where we're going, and see what you can come up with there?
Like Joe's quite good, like he might get in touch and ask about stuff, but like I'm sure he gets in touch with a lot of people and sort of just like gets feedback from people and what he thinks, like gets opinions, you know, and then like he'd make the decisions, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like I didn't know the Star Devon thing was happening when it happened, and I fucking lost my mind. Like, so it was like
That's amazing.
I'm like a fan that I can enjoy it then in that way as well. Like, so I'm not sure. Like,
but it's amazing how well you got everything there, and you didn't know it was happening. Like it came out so well. You were like,
thank you. Right, like, that sort of thing. As soon as I seen them, I was like, oh fuck, I have to get like. Because like, you know, they were both looking at each other, and I just thought it was so fucking. Yeah. I thought it was fucking great. Like I was losing my mind.
It came across like you had like a little earpiece in, going, Shaun, go to seat A52 and point the camera at angle 45. You know, it was like
the fucking. It's just like pure luck as well. Like I didn't realize, you know, I have the stuff of them backstage.
Oh, like, the perfect angle, the look they gave each other.
Oh my god, like the fucking look of that, like is nuts. I think, you know, like, because I had gotten, I think I had gotten like one session for the, what weekend was it? I think it was the anniversary weekend, and it was like her behind the curtain before she like bursts out. So I really liked that shot, so I wanted to get some more stuff like that, but I didn't know that I'd be
working into the story so well.
Well, like when you see, I know Jordan Devlin compared this video, the Devlin Star video, to Austin Rock for Mania 17. Like,
it's nuts.
That's how do you react to something like that?
It's crazy. It's crazy because, like, I suppose I would have grown up like watching all those like practices and losing my mind. Like, I think that like Dave Sahadi, I think, done that one, and he'd be like my favorite like wrestling package director. You know, like I think like him doing like, like Impact had that like great run of like all those sort of like cold open sort of shows. They'd have like your man's voice, you know, the Impact, you know, that guy.
Yeah.
All of those packages, I think they had gotten so handy at that stage. And those are ones that I'd look and go, they're fucking deadly, you know, because they have like all that stuff, you know, when like the satellites are fucking twisting and you'd have all those fucking time lapses and stuff, just like biblical sort of.
And I'm pretty sure they had a lot of rain showers in them as well, similar enough to the Devlin one, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure there's an awful lot of rain showers in those as well.
Exactly. I love that shit.
All this talk earlier about coming up with this idea, and he stole it from Impact.
Hey,
Next we'll see Hulk Hogan, huh?
Oh man.
Like context for a story, you know, I think like if you're using something like that and you're just putting it in somewhere where it doesn't belong, it's not really going to have the same impact as if something sits over where it benefits the story and it benefits the larger context of what you're trying to do.
100%.
Yeah.
And those shots were fantastic. It actually just really caps off the video nicely at the end as well. It's a really nice touch.
Yeah, I was fucking delighted. Like even when I was filming, I was fucking screaming, like laughing.
The goosebump moment there. I like all the videos you put. I get goosebumps during every one of them. It's just the music behind it. Whatever way you have it, perfect. It's
Yeah. I said to the lads, they came out when we recorded last week, I think. They would be known as the lost episode, the technical difficulties episode. And I was like, typical. We've got this guy lined up now, and all of our computers are in shit. Nothing's working. But like, you see Meltzer talking about it. That's just madness.
Yeah,
like, this is.
Like, Joe had sent me like a clip, like for when the Osprey Walter one, and he had sent a clip like with Meltzer talking about it off the show. And like I literally cried when I got it. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, you know, like it's insane, you know.
It's traveled. Like there's a lot of people, you know, you kind of large following on what people call wrestling Twitter are talking about it. You have, you know, Matthew Botchamania talking about it and everything. It's
insane.
It's mad.
I was really worried as well because like when I was shooting it, I was like, Jesus, this is going to be quite long, I'd say, because there's like a lot of content in it, and then you're like, it's better to have it than not having it. But like all in a while, like I'm sort of thinking, you know, like people's like attention spans are so fucking small these days for like online videos, especially for if you're doing like promos for companies and stuff. Like if you're anything over like 2.5 minutes, usually like people click on it. So I was like releasing this like fucking 7.5 minute thing that fucking shit loads of work into, and nobody's gonna watch it. Like,
oh no,
the sort of like fear, you know. So like when I seen like the reaction that like it did get, like I was like over the moon, you know. It's like not only like are people giving it a chance, but like the whole thing of like the time like that they're giving to it is like inconsequential. Like it like was viewed more times than any of the other packages that I've made for OTT. So.
20,000 views at the moment on YouTube.
Yeah,
and plenty more on Twitter.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like,
there's probably 100 of them are on this podcast.
I did 3 back to back. But even I showed it to the missus as well, and like she would have no interest really outside of Finn Balor, you know. But like she was like, "Oh, I hate this guy. You know, who is this guy? Why did he screw over that other Irish guy?" No, it was like she got into it. Like she just got into it. It was a simply told story and well executed, and it was great. It was really, really good.
I think they're both fucking fantastic in it. I think like Star, like I think is probably like one of the best actors I think I've ever seen in my life. Like I think he's
yeah, and the delivery, he was just so cold about everything.
Geez, like just not even like, because like it probably doesn't come across in the music, but really sort of like minute things, like when as it's going on, he starts like rolling his R's more like the Joker type thing or whatever, and it's just like, this is fucking. It probably gets lost in the music and stuff with it in the background, but he says like Tim Thatcher type thing.
Yeah.
Fucking so good, like. You know? And,
but even you had the thing with Jordan as well, like going, I probably should have taken that match more seriously, and he kind of has that little bit of regret. Like they're very good actors, the two of them.
Yeah.
Like, how much input did they have into it, or if any, or
like they were doing like say think the only thing I'd said before we shot the interviews is that like I wanted it to be like a journey type thing. So I'd said like because we had gone from like him fucking like pile driving Scotty and Captain Sexy type thing, and like him like reaching out. So I just didn't want to start the interviews hot and heavy type thing, but I'd like it to be like when you're talking about your friendship, like to have that be like a friendly sort of way of speaking about it, so like the audience would take that same journey. But like those lads are like both fucking like, who might tell them how to
Yeah. Yeah. True.
fucking great, like, you know. So
Well, it was similar with Osprey as well in the Walter video with Osprey
Yeah.
Walter, where he was talking about bringing the title out at the Tokyo Dome and everything, and just
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that. Like I'm delighted to have, because I'm like, oh, brilliant. We can like, I'm as a fan myself. I'm just like, yeah, fucking, this is great. I'm delighted with this.
I can influence the way things go.
But like stuff that I'd enjoy, you know. It's like brilliant that like other people enjoy it then as well. That it's not just like if nobody was watching it and enjoying it, I wouldn't get to make them, you know. So like, it's just the fact that like I enjoy making them and people enjoy watching them. It's great because I get to make more of them then as well. So
It's a good thing. Nikki, you'd mentioned as well you'd done videos for Riptide in the UK.
yeah, I'd gone over to shoot like a highlight video for a show, their Blackwater show, which is fucking great. Like I think the Riptide style stuff looks incredible, and the guys who run it are lovely. Like, so I'd love to do more of that, you know, in the future.
There's a show in MetLife Stadium, start of April there. So there's one more little video to coming tomorrow. We're not going to ask for spoilers or anything, but that's something to look forward to for everyone anyways, before we go into the weekend.
I can't give anything away.
Of course not. Of course not. We wouldn't even ask.
I'm really cautious about what I say.
Yeah. But yeah, no, man, the videos are unbelievable.
Thanks
It's
so much.
yeah.
Thank you.
It is WWE quality. It really is like it.
Don't sell the man short. Come on.
Yes, and then we have on Sundays OTT Homecoming National Basketball Arena, and I believe tickets are still on sale as well. Actually,
Yeah. Are you lads coming?
Oh yes.
Oh, brilliant.
Front row.
Yeah, as always.
as always, I'll be there for Scrapper Mania.
Yeah.
I'm what people call the blow-in. I go to the big shows, like the big shows. I've got a mate coming home actually from America. He's going to go as well. He's never been to an OTT show, so it should be a bit of crack. So looking forward to that. And where can people follow you? All that sort of stuff. Where can they find your work?
On Twitter, Shaun Ryan, or my company's Crooked Gentleman. So I think that's probably the main one to see everything that we do. That's not just wrestling stuff, but like all the music videos and stuff as well. So
Very good. Thanks for coming on, man.
no,
We really appreciate it.
guys. Thank you.
No bother, dude.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, Sean.
Cheers, guys.
You kind of wanted out of a friend. I think that's how we became best friends. Found out Walter was coming to OTT.
What a sound fucker.
Legend.
Oh yeah, sound out.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That was great crack. Really good crack with him. Yeah, his sound, obviously he was just on a laptop mic, so you'll have to forgive that. So what can you do? But good crack. It's interesting insight into how he gets the job done.
Exactly. No, definitely really interesting and great. Like, I can't wait to see what more stuff he comes out with, because like every single video seems to be better than the last. So I don't know how he's going to top that. Definitely.
He's releasing a full feature length fucking 90-minute film. Like,
at the end of this whole feud, this feud between Walter, Devlin, Star, all that, there needs to be some sort of DVD released. So he could literally do a full length movie for it. Like,
It's true.
yeah, it's so good. Even hearing him talk about some of the like the finer details around the stuff of Lincoln Pat Benatar, the whole thing of the storm and everything. It just to hear the detail of what he goes to with these sort of things was fantastic. I love that side of things. Like,
so much thought being put into them. Like, it's just,
But I said it straight out to him, going, I thought you were doing the Batman and Bane thing from the the rain and this. He was like, no, it's this insanely complicated, or not, or is it insanely complex, nuanced thing that you didn't get? Oh, okay then. Shit. See why they hired you.
So many layers to it. It's like peeling back an onion.
Oh man, he was good crack. You can follow him at Shaun Ryan on Twitter. But
Make sure to check out Crooked Gentleman as well.
Yeah, his production company. As you can see, insane work, and you can find all the wrestling related stuff on the OTT YouTube channel. Nobody's doing it better, even WWE. Nobody.
Nobody at all.